Hi everyone. So today let's solve the let's discuss on the topic binary exponentiation, right? So we'll be going with the binary exponentiation algorithm today. Let's get into the definition part actually. Let's see what the definition part says here. So binary exponentiation is an algorithm to compute a to the power of b, right? It is an algorithm to compute a to the power of b efficiently by repeatedly squaring the base. Yep, efficiently by repeatedly squaring the base and reducing the exponent by half and reducing the exponent by half. It reduces the time from big of b to big of logarithmic b. Yep, just remember this one. It reduces the time from big of b to big of logarithmic b. So this is it for the binary exponentiation. Again, let me read this one out loud. Just listen to this carefully. Binary exponentiation is an algorithm to compute what? To compute a to the power of b efficiently by repeatedly squaring the base. Yeah. So a is nothing but the base here. B is nothing but the power, right? So we know this by repeatedly squaring the base, nothing but repeatedly squaring the a, this one, and reducing the exponent by half, and reducing the exponent by half. It reduces the time complexity from, as we are reducing the time, this one what as we are reducing the exponent by half, it reduces the time complexity from big of b to big of logarithmic b. It's as simple as that. Now let's get into the algorithm explanation. Yep. So first thing, we want to compute the base to the power of power, right? So we want to compute base to the power of power. Instead of multiplying the base repeatedly, instead of multiplying the base repeatedly, we check the last bit of the power. What we do, instead of multiplying the base repeatedly, so base is nothing but a here, exponent, this one, this is nothing but b, power is nothing but b, right? So instead of multiplying the base repeatedly, what we do, we check. So first of all, we want to compute the base, this one to the power of power, right? So nothing but that itself, base to the power of power. Instead of multiplying the base repeatedly, what we do, we'll check the last bit of the power. So see, listen to this carefully. While we consider the example, while we try run the code actually by making use of the example, the exact same thing will be doing, right? So the same thing we have to articulate in the form of code as well. Just listen to this carefully. First, instead of multiplying the base repeatedly, we will check the last bit of the power, right? So we'll be converting this one to the binary and we'll be checking the last bit of the power, not the base, the last bit of the power. If the power is odd, so we will check whether the power is odd or even. Suppose if the power is odd, we will multiply the result with base. What we'll do, we'll multiply the power with base. Then we will square the base, divide the power by 2, or we can just make use of the right shift to divide by 2, or we can just directly divide by 2 as well. Both works. In our case, we can just go with a bit manipulation here. We can just go with the right shift as well. Yep. So if the power is odd, we'll multiply the result with the base, square the base, divide the power by 2, and finally repeat until the power becomes 0. We will be carrying on until the power becomes 0. Until the power becomes 0. It's as simple as that. Yep. So whenever you're solving algorithms, math or the number theory algorithms, it's easier, man. Graph and this one, math or the this one number theory algorithms, actually it's easier and more logical actually. Yep, comparatively to others. So you can just easily solve them, rather than, so when it comes to the sliding window, especially sliding window and this one DP, you suffer actually. DP is fine actually. Name itself indicates that it's dynamic in nature, so this is fine. But sliding window especially, yeah. So it's these kind of this one topics, mainly number theory graphs. They're more logical, and you can just easily write the algo, and you can easily try run. Yeah. So this is fine. Next, let's move on with the further things actually. The first thing. So let me do one thing. I'll just paste this one over here. This is nothing but the buffer reader and the print writer. Buffer reader and the print writer is nothing but, yeah, buffer reader and print writer, nothing but this is related to the input output part. Yeah, we don't have to worry about it. We just focus on the logic actually. Yeah. First, let's go with a simple example. Let's consider base power as well as the answer, right? We have to initialize the answer. We have to store the answer somewhere, right? So we have to show the final result somewhere. So we'll be making use of the result variable or the answer variable. So first, let me go with the base. Initially, let me go with the example 2, right? So let's consider the simple example. One second, give the semicolon. So yeah, next what I'll do, so let me go with the power as well. Yeah, power, let me consider 5. This is fine. Again, semicolon. Next, we have to store the final result somewhere. So let me consider the result variable answer here and initialize this one with 1. Yep. So this is fine. Next, what we are going to do, so we have to loop until the exponent becomes 0 accordingly with the algorithm. See here, we have to repeat until the power becomes 0. So let me consider the while loop here. While it's simple, I'll just go with the power greater than 0. Yeah, power greater than 0. So now within the while loop, the first thing we have to check if the power is odd. We have to check if the power is odd. So this one, I'll just go with power and operator 1. So if it is equivalent to 1, if it is equivalent to 1, then let me assign the answer equals answer into base actually. Answer equals answer into base. What we did actually, we checked if the power is odd and then we are multiplying the result with the base. It's as simple as that. Yep. So now let me come out of this one entirely. Now we have to square the base and divide the power by 2. Now we have to square the base and divide the power by 2. That's what we will be doing. So I'll just go with base here. Base equals base into base. We are squaring the base. Next, after squaring the base, we have to divide the power by 2 accordingly with what we had discussed. So somewhere, see here, divide power by 2. We can just make use of the right shift, right? We'll be going with the right shift. Yep. So I can just write it power equals power by 2, or I can just go with the right shift operator as well. Yeah, I'll just go with the right shift. Power equals power right shift 1. So yeah, this is fancy way of writing power by 2. That's it. Yep. Anyways, so let's move on with the further things. Now we have to print the result. For printing the result, I'll just go with a out.println. Yeah. Let me go with out.println. Of let me pass the answer. Let me pass the answer variable. So this is fine. I'll just go with out.flush actually. Out.flush. Yeah. So this is fine. This is it for the code. This is it for the code. Yep. We are done with the coding part actually. Yeah, we are done with the coding part. So let's check whether we have any error or the typos. No, right? Yeah, this is fine. Before running the code, let's dry run the code so that we get to know whether whatever the code that we have written works correctly or not. Along with that, let's dry run the code by considering the same example that we have considered within the code. So that, yeah, we get to know whether whatever the code that we have written is correct and we get to know about the output part as well. Yeah, let's do that and later we can come back here and run the code. Yeah, first let's dry run the code by considering the same example. So now let's try run by considering the same example, right? So base we have considered 2 actually and power we are considering this one 5 within the code. Let's go with the same example. Yeah. So just give me a second, 1 second here. Yeah. So initial value base is nothing but 2, power is nothing but 5. So answer, we have initialized this one to 1 in the code, right? So that's what we have done. Let's go with the iteration 1 here, right? Let's go with the iteration 1. So what happens here within the first iteration? So power, so power is 5, power is 5 itself, and answer accordingly with the code that we have written, so it will be 1 into 2, right? Answer into base, base into base we are going with, right? So this one will be 1 into 2. Initially we will be going with a 1, this one answer, so 1 into 2. So base we are going with base into base, right? So sorry, this is nothing but answer into base. So now we are going with this one, base equals base into base. So here this one will be 2 into 2, 2 into 2, right? So this will be 2, this will be 4, and finally we will be going with a power actually, power. So this one will be 5 right shift 1, right? 5 right shift 1, power equals power by 2 we went with. It will be actually 2.5, we'll be considering 2 actually. Yep, so this is fine. We are going with the right shift operator, so we get the answer 2. Yep, next let's move on with the iteration 2. Next let's move on with the iteration 2. Power we got 2 actually this time. Yeah, power we got 2, right? So now let's move on with the iteration 2. Power we have even. Yeah, power we don't have this one odd, actually we have even. So I'll just give here power equals 2. That is nothing but even here in this case. Then answer is unchanged actually, so I'll just go with unchanged here. This one is fine. Yep, so this is 2, and base equals again the same thing. Base equals base into base. So this one we will be writing, we can just write it in this form, 4 into 4 actually. 4 into 4, this becomes 16. And finally, power, again, the same thing actually. Power equals power by 2 or power right shift 1. So here power 2, right shift 1. So this becomes 1, 2 by 2. So nothing. 2 right shift 1 is 1, or the power equals power by 2, 2 by 2, 1, right? So this is fine. Next, let's move on with the iteration 3. Yeah. So this right shift operator 1 does the same thing that is done by divided by 2 actually. Yep. Yep. That's one thing that I wanted to discuss. Yep. The only thing is it gives the answer in the whole number, right? It gives the answer as whole number. Yep. That is also one of the thing. That's the difference actually. This is one of the things. This is fine. Now let's move on with the iteration 3. Now power becomes 1. So now the power is add actually. Yeah, we have to carry on with this until the power becomes 0, right? Accordingly with the algorithm that we discussed, right? So power becomes 1. So answer will be this one, 2 into, so answer into this one, power into base actually, right? So this one we have to go with answer into base actually. So this one we have to go with 2 into 16 actually. 2 into 16, this becomes 32. This becomes 32, and base equals again base. We are squaring the base, right? Base into base, nothing but here 16 into 16. 16 into 16 becomes 256. Yeah. Then finally, let me write 256 here. Finally, power. So this one becomes 1 right shift, again 1. So this becomes 0 at this time. This becomes 0, right? 1 right shift 1 becomes 0. Yep. So now power is 0. We don't have to move on with the further steps. We'll be stopping here, right? We'll be stopping, right? We'll be stopping with the third iteration actually. Now the loop ends here. As power becomes 0, the loop ends here. So 2 to the power of 5 is nothing but answer we got here is 32. 2 to the power of 5 actually, the answer that we got here is 32 actually. So this is the logic behind this. This is the logic actually that we have written accordingly with the code. We had dry run the code, right? We have dry run the code, right? The same thing, the output that we got here accordingly with the code is 32, right? Now let's do one thing. Now we have the complete idea, right? Now we have the complete idea on the coding part, as well as we have already dry run the code. Yeah, we have just dry run the code. We have got the output 32. Let's check for the same. Let's run the code that we have written. So let me come here. I'll choose this one and let me run the main. Yeah, the output that we need to get here is 32 accordingly with the diagram. Yeah, accordingly with the example that we have considered within the diagram. If everything goes well, we have to get the correct output. As far as I know, we have to get the correct output. We do not have any error. Let's see. So you can clearly see here, the output that we are getting is 32, right? Which is absolutely correct. So whatever the output that we have got is absolutely correct, right? So the algorithm works absolutely correct. The algorithm that we have written works absolutely perfect. Now let's discuss the complexities for the code that we have written. Let's discuss the complexities for the code that we have written. So what would be the time complexity here? We have already discussed this one. Time complexity would lead to big of logarithmic b instead of the b, right? Time complexity would lead to big of logarithmic b instead of b, and space complexity would lead to big of the space complexity would lead to big of 1 actually. Yeah, the time complexity would lead to big of logarithmic b, and the space complexity would lead to big of 1 for the code that we have written. Yep. So now this is it for the complexities part. Yeah, as we are reducing the exponent by half, instead of the time complexity big of b, it would lead to big of logarithmic b. This is one thing. And the space complexity, we are not going with any extra variable. So we are going with just we are just going with a constant this one variables, right? So which would we are just going with this one variables which would take the constants with. So overall space complexity would lead to big of 1, right? So this is it for the complexity. Next, what we'll be doing, next we will be discussing the modular inverse, nothing but format Little's theorem, right? So this is it for the binary exponentiation algorithm. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.